How's it going, everybody? This is Siri here, and the Astral team got some massive updates. It doesn't really seem like it's a lot, but when you add it all together as far as what the Astral team can do, this is actually a really good update that they gave to the Astral team, and it's not going to break the game. Let's go ahead and start looking into this. We've received feedback from the community about the disappointment of Emma Frost X-Men. She really was kind of lackluster. This really puts her on a whole new level. Now she's lacking some offensive capabilities. We've reviewed her kit and made some key changes to help her offensively. We've raised her base speed, added bleed to her basic, updated her special and ultimate so she can assist with getting rid of the negative effects on the enemies, made her ultimate attack adjacent targets, and she can now help take down the boss Null in Battle World faster with the Astral team and some X-Men allies. So initially it was looking like she'd be the one that would get benched off because she really didn't add any value to the fight. So personally, I was going to use the 4-piece, maybe add like Black Knight in there on that Null boss fight. But now I can actually keep the full team together or still break her off and do some theory craft. It's really cool. While reviewing Emma Frost X-Men's kit, we also took a pass on Ancient One and Shadow King to make sure they were hitting their goals for Astral. We made some tweaks to their kits as well, so they performed even better in Battle World. The details of those changes are below, so let's go ahead and take a look. So Emma Frost, she went from 111 speed, very slow, to 127. I believe that's the same speed as Shadow King as well. Actually it was Ancient One, so I think it's on par with Ancient One because the turn order used to be Ancient One, then Shadow King as far as the turns goes. So I think she's on par with Ancient One. So as you see here, she's going to be adding 2 bleeds onto her basic. It's still going to be applying regeneration for 2 turns, additional regeneration for 1 turn to the most injured. Gives barrier as well, so all of that still stay the same. The special is now going to clear all barrier on all enemies, which is very important for her. This is the really interesting one too. In Battle World, build speed bar for self and all Astral and X-Men allies by 40%. So now what I'm thinking I might be able to do is still do the 4-piece with Black Knight, and I can use like Old Man Logan along with Emma Frost and maybe Nightcrawler, Rogue to remove some barrier, and then add Forge or Gambit in there so I can really theory craft a second very powerful team. So I'm really excited about that change. Her ultimate is going to be able to clear barrier on all enemies, and here you can see the attack adjacent targets for 350% plus 10%. So that's primary and adjacent, so that's very powerful as well. That portion is everywhere. Build speed bar for self and all Astral and X-Men allies by 20% here as well. So we have a 40% in Battle World onto the special. The ultimate is 20% for Astral and X-Men everywhere. So that's really going to help ramp up the speed of this team. In Battle World, build speed bar for self and all Astral and X-Men by an additional 20. So in Battle World, it's going to fill it by 40%. So the team's really going to get moving, which is going to help counteract a lot of the speed mechanics that Null brings to himself. That way this team can really keep up with him. And once they clear the barrier, they can actually take a few turns before the barrier gets reapplied. So it's really cool. The passive in Battle World, if this character has 3 or more Astral or X-Men allies, the maximum health of the boss Null can be increased by 50%. So basically that's removing the cap or kind of adjusting the damage cap. So for difficulty 5, for instance, I believe the cap damage is 4 million. This is going to make it 6 million. That's very, very impactful. Now for Ancient One, the passive on here, initially it was gained 25% crit chance. Now in Battle World, Astral allies also gain the 25% crit damage. So yeah, crit damage and the allies additional 25% crit damage. Gain 25% crit chance as well. In Battle World, Astral allies gain 25% crit chance. So that's actually really good as well. It helps that way the cap of the damage by that 50%. If you crit, you're more likely to hit that cap or go over the cap. So it's really cool. For Shadow King's passive, clear all barrier for the most injured ally. So basically, this is the possessed mechanic. When this character or when an Astral ally that has possessed at the end of that character's turn, or when any non-summoned ally uses their ultimate, it's going to clear all barriers. So this is going to help keep that barrier down. That way you can keep the damage going on there. Now in Battle World, this will also trigger when any Astral ally uses their special ability. So it's ultimate and special in Battle World. That is so cool. So I'm really glad that the devs listened to our feedback, because we were letting them know that the RNG bleed team that we currently have is way outperforming what the Astral team does. And one of the things I was saying was this team has no way to remove barrier, and that's really going to cause an issue. So the fact that they addressed the barrier removal in Battle World, and not only that, made it to where Emma Frost, she's going to be a very good offensive tool now. Currently on defense, her speed mechanic on her passive, where it's the non-mythic enemies cannot have their speed increased except by positive effects and rage. This was kind of added on there. It's basically just to clarify that Null's passive rage, he is going to keep getting that speed up. But the fact that as an offensive tool, she's much faster now. She's going to be able to clear the barrier, do damage to primary and adjacent, which is also 10% targets max health. That's very important as well. Clear barrier and fill speed bar. She's going to be so much better as far as an offensive tool. So I'm really excited about this. Let me know what you guys think. Are you happy with these changes? Did you think they kind of needed more? I think this team's still going to be very good outside of Battle World and in War because of this. But let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.